Coucou les coucous! De retour à Botany Manor, une autre clé. Lady Arabella, I apologize wholeheartedly for accidentally taking the key to the formal garden home with me. It was in my pocket, and I had simply forgotten it was there. I didn't want to disturb your research, so I've left the key in the basket here for you. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. Ça, c'est une grosse partie de la map, quoiqu'elle va être moins dense, j'imagine, que l'intérieur de la maison. Ah, ok. On va aller en arrière de la maison, je pense. Climbing up. 3 plantes. Ici. 8 c'est fait. Kitchen garden, cider garden. Ah, you know what, on va juste regarder. Bonnet illustrated the penny paper. It was a message. Oh, super thick paper. It was a message. Local men report mystery signal. A gentleman farmer has reported sighting of mysterious blinking light coming from cave near his home with cheddar. In his own words, I was walking my dog and lost track of time a little. It soon became dark and I decided to make the walk back home. On the way to my house is a tiny cave, and as I walk by, I noticed a blinking light pattern cast from the cave entrance. I was sure it was one of those Morse code messages. When I approached the cave, the lights were Spanish, and nobody was there. I'm convinced that what I saw was the Morse code abbreviation for attention. I will never forget that one abbreviation, as it was the first message I learned in Morse code. Local authorities have assured our journalists that there have been no recent military activity or exercises in the area, so the mystery remained unsolved. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ça c'est fait. Cousin T, on va le garder pour la forme. Attention, Morse code via blinking light. Spring dance shrub. This flowering bush used to grow in the garden, but it completely disappeared when I was off of my travel. Location Folly. Brownia Lucerna. Oui, j'ai reçu beaucoup de messages. A friend gifted me these seeds, so I don't know much about them yet. Side terrace. Centra tercendium. A friend of mine found some seed and was kind enough to let me use them for my herbarium. Boat longhouse. Oh, dernière page. On va voir ces messages. Great. Ok, fait que ça va être la grotte avec le Morse code. Chirpy, 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 chirpy. Sincerest greetings. Dearest Arabella, I was delighted after a recent mentoring session. You do excellent work as a fellow scholar of the natural world. I recall the spring dance shrub that once grew in your garden before you departed on your travels. How wonderful it would be to see it growing again. I've been compiling plant specimens that require pollination to mature into the adult stage. Wonder if the spring dance shrub is one of these plants. Ever your affectionate friend, Naviana. Pollination. chemical compound in wildflower, jasmine and old poppy, opium, foxglove, digitoxin, fool's emerald, luciferium, daffodil, galantamine, St. John's wort, hypericin. Fool's emerald, oscillate. Do, 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 do. Fool's emerald, luciferine. Pollination. Spring dense shrub. Shrub. Pollination. Point d'interrogation. Oscillette. Fac. Je pense que lui, ça va être là. Vu qu'il avait l'air d'avoir une lumière dans un tunnel, je pense que ce clou-là va venir ici, mais je le mets pas. Je l'ai laissé de côté, puis je me prends une note que c'est probablement ça, mais je le mets pas officiellement. The marvel of bioluminescence. In the darker corner of our world, there are plants and organisms that are able to produce their own light. These plant, fungi, and insects are most often found in areas of low light, such as dark forests, deep oceans, and gloomy caves. Recent discoveries show that chemicals such as luciferin are responsible for this glowing effect. Ok, fait que ça va être le Fool's Emerald dans ce cas-là. Not know what this glowing effect is used for, but it could be for the communication with other of the same species or to attract pollinators or food. Scientists believe there are many bioluminescent species waiting to be discovered. Fool's Emerald, ouais, luciferium. Bioluminescence. Fait que ça se peut que je me sois royalement trompé. C'est de l'autre côté de l'entrée, ouais. Et j'avais besoin d'une clé parce que je n'étais pas capable de passer au-dessus ou en dessous de cette table. Godot Garden Supplies, new material for garden bots. Sandstone, marble, obsidian. Flower growing companion. Tips for growing hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are beautiful flowers that contain anthocyanin, which is a pigment that can change color depending on the pH level of its environment. Color can vary between red, purple, and blue. Hydrangeas anthocyanin pH level red, purple, blue. My sweet Hazel, are you keeping well today? Fait que ça, c'est la housemate, puis un des gars, c'est deux personnes de staff qui flirtent ensemble, je pense. Keeping well today. Jimmy only gone and broke the lawnmower again. If it weren't for my war injury, I wouldn't be letting him loose with the mower. He said he ran over some hard object down in the long grass near the pond. I had a brief look and couldn't see anything. Something I wonder about the boy's sensibilities. Save me some of your lovely scones. Yours always, Mr. Bennett. Note about lawn, something hard. Near pond. Section 4, communication. Over long distance, the method of communication over long distance must be selected according to the requirement of each scenario. If the message contains no sensitive information or if there is no enemy present within the communication area, an open method of communication such as telegraphy may be used. If open communication is permissible, both receiver may still benefit from the abbreviations of messages. See Plate 2 or table of commonly used military abbreviation using telegraph and Morse code. Close communication method rely more upon both technology and ingenuity in over long distances. In the case of secret and obfuscation, planning is required. Both parties must have a knowledge of the method of encryption used. And 4. A brief history of a long-range military communication. Ancient Greece, water telegraphy, and torch telegraphy. Ah, nice. Ancient Rome, smoke signaling, Lysium, beacon and pigeons, Moorish shutter telegraph, radiated telegraph, Morse code. Fait que c'était quoi? Attention. Ah. Bird seeds. Ah non, c'est un grillage que je pouvais juste ouvrir d'un côté. Anthocyanin research shrub. Spring dance shrub. Blue, violet, purple, white, pink, red. Soil pH research. Guano, puis le type de peau. Ok. Spring this. Guard, pigment, hydrangeas. J'assume que je vais être capable de faire bouger le bird. Dear Miss Green, I've recently heard of your involvement in the mentoring of aspiring botanists. Botany is the that demands a thorough understanding of its complexity. And while I admire the dedication, the saying, the blind leading the blind, does come to mind. All just aside, I do hope your endeavor in mentoring will yield some semblance of progress. Sincerely, Professor Thornton. Dear Mr. Bennett, thank you so much for the lovely bush of rhubarb from your nephew's garden. He needn't have sent anything in return for the herbal poultice I gave him for his little one, but I'm grateful all the same. I know he hasn't the money to fetch a doctor. Since you said he cannot read a note, please send him my thanks when you see him. Grateful yours, Hazel. Rhubarb. Mixed seed for garden birds. Hygienically blended. Attract a host of garden birds such as bluebirds, finch, robins, and warbler with this seed prepared at the highest quality level. Simply spread the seed on an appropriate bird table or feeding surface and to the delight of your feathered garden neighbor. House. Dragon bird with colors. Just like bees, birds can pollinate flower, but did you know that birds have a preference to pollinate flowers in color? The above chart show which color of flower attracts which bird to your garden. Right. Je suis pas assez sûr pour vouloir mettre des choses là. Là, je pense que l'oiseau a comme sacré son camp. Alright, fait que là j'ai tous les clous pour un ici. Let's try to do it. C'est lequel ça? Spring Dance Shrub. J'ai pas la graine dans tous les cas. Never mind. Never mind, je l'ai pogné. Oh, ok. Ok, qu'est-ce que je veux? pense qu'il faut que je les prenne. Puis je l'apporte un par un. Genre, je le scare vers le prochain. La musique semble me dire quelque chose qui se passe aussi. Face rouge, belly blanc, côte gris. Face rouge, belly blanc, côte gris. Robin, red flowers. Robin, red flowers. Hop! Ça serait bien qu'on voit le jeu. Benedict, the telegraph you ordered arrived while you were at the farmer's market. They delivered it by boat. I left it at the boathouse since I didn't know where you'd like to keep it. There appears to be a Morse code manual inside the case as well. Génie. Je vais retrouver mon pH là. Robin, c'était Red. Red, j'avais un pH de 12 à 14. Sandstone Seaweed. Le terracotta, ça c'est le granit. Black, white. Red Spring Dance Rub. Et... on recule pour pas déranger le petit pit-pit. Je suis peut-être overly cautious, là. Bye, bird. D'autres oiseaux qui sont arrivés. Ok, ça. Je pense que c'est le seul qui est en arrière. The flowering bush used to grow in the gardens, but had completely disappeared when I was autumn. The spring shrub contained anthocyanins, causing it to change color depending on the pH level of its environment. Robins love red flowers and will be attracted to the red variant of this shrub. Bird. Bird. Tout ça c'est réglé. Ça c'était la première. Man, ça doit être chiant à faire la pelouse ici. Phenomena of spiritualism. My dearest cousin, whilst I hold a deep fascination for the pursuit of knowledge and science, I must admit that the subject of spiritualism is not one that particularly captivates me. Therefore, I must return this book to you. However, I appreciate your effort in sharing your interest with me. With affection, Arabella. Glowing spirit of marshes, forests, and caves. The will-o-wisp is an eerie apparition that has long been subject to both fear and fascination. Makes an appearance to lost traveler in dark, isolated places and beckons them to follow with his beguiling, blinking light. Many a wanderer has followed the will-o-wisp alluring light across marshes or into caves, never to be seen again. Take heed, those who venture to dark places. Resist the temptation of the will-o-wisp's shimmering radiance. Turn back before it's too late. Lever completed. Il n'y a rien de spécial. Q. Ok. Je pense que ça va être tout pour aujourd'hui. On va revenir la prochaine fois. Alors, au revoir et à bientôt.